Well, first, let me start with the name of the company. And we put quite a thought in how we should name our company. And there's a philosophy behind it, saying Digitopia. So it's not just a company name. There is more meaning behind it. For us, it's a belief. Almost everybody, and this is an important hiring parameter for us, we are all very optimistic activists and believe in a bright future. And the digital transformation, actually, we believe will contribute to that better digital future. So digital is already inevitable. We know that for sure, and we see it happening since the inception of the semiconductor, especially the internet and the mobile phone. And when you look at our kids, it's impossible to take away the mobile phone from them. And there's sometimes also happening good things on that mobile phone. It's not only the social media. And when we just look at what digital did to us over the last few decades, then we'll understand how it will continue to have a very positive impact on us. Our definition of digital transformation is quite a broad one. It's the reimagining of all aspects of life by using digital capabilities for sustainable success. If you're a city, you want to have a lovable, livable city. If you're a government, you want to have a flourishing economy, employment, and good foreign relations and so forth. If you're an enterprise and corporation, you want to have long-term profitable success and growth. So that's sustainable success. Digital capabilities will contribute to all of those aspects. And it changed how we're living our daily lives, how we're reading books, how we're listening to music, what we're watching, how we're making payments, how we're ordering foods. Especially COVID accelerated and expanded and enriched all those capabilities. And most of them we can't get rid out of our lives again. They are here to stay, and for a good reason. Imagine this would not be available during the lockdown. Imagine we would need to go back to printed stuff, to offline stuff, and so forth. And imagine all the data collected to understand the customer in a better way, to serve the customer in a better way. And this is not always just bloody marketing or getting the last penny out of the value chain. Sometimes some digital capabilities really enable something which was not possible before, which is not possible on the analog channels. Industries are changing. The automotive industry now is even called mobility. It's not automotive anymore. Commerce is changing. The whole value chains are changing. Insurance is changing. Logistics is changing. Banking is changing. And we have so-called neo-banks and fintechs who enable and really put pressure on incumbents and legacy businesses. And these are just 5 of the dozens of industries where digital has a huge impact in different ways. So as you see, digital is not just about digital, as the Industrial Revolution was not just about the steam engine. And digital transformation is not an option. We're not talking here about if, we're not even talking about when. Most of you guys listening right now and most of our customers we are meeting every day are late and behind anyway. So it's the questions of why you should do it, the purpose, the vision, what you should do, the scope, the priorities, and how you should do about the methodology, the team, the portfolio, and the cultural transformation, complementing the technical and the business transformation. So Digitopia also has a purpose. We are very purpose-driven people, as we are optimistic and very active about a better digital future. We believe that we bring light to digital transformation darkness. So many companies we see don't know their scores. Even actually a recent research we have published shows that 90% of companies, 9 out of 10, don't know where they are on their digital transformation journeys. most of them don't know that this can be measured, this can be quantified. So that's the reason why we are so passionate about running these events and talking to as many people as possible to make them understand that this is measurable, this is quantifiable and scientifically traceable. Most people don't know where they are on their journeys and don't know where they go. These are the most frequent questions we receive. Although many businesses are measuring many different performance indicators, KPIs, many different aspects of their business, financials, very detailed, profits, very carefully. If you're in logistics or manufacturing or automotive, you're looking at your supply chain, and COVID showed you how flexible and how resilient you have to be regarding your supply chain. And there are measures we've built systems for the last 2, 3, 4 decades. It started with the MRP, then it became the ERP. Today we talk about integrated value chains, automatic replenishment, demand forecasting, supply planning, and so forth, all based on huge sets of data accumulated over the last few decades. And we're measuring the performance and try to make it even better, try to even put more pressure on our suppliers, try to even tighten the value chain and the supply chain, do pricing negotiations, even run online auctions and so forth. Think about the customer satisfaction, the whole notion of customer loyalty becoming a love mark. The Net Promoter Score became the de facto standard, basically. There's one most important, the single most important KPI for all your customer experience and CRM activities. So how come you're not measuring your digital progress? Although you're having so crowded project portfolios all connected to digital in different aspects of business, in the HR function, the marketing function, the financial function, the procurement function, in business model innovation, in growth, they're managed and measured mostly individually or in silos. Very few organizations we come across have an overall understanding of their total portfolio and can really truly align it with their corporate strategies, objectives, and priorities. They're confusing business priorities between business units and executives. And the digital agenda needs to cope with those confusing, sometimes even conflicting business priorities. And many CFOs we are talking to, they don't understand the true value and the true benefits of all those spendings, all the marketing spending, all the integration spending, all the outsourced centers, development centers somewhere on the planet, low cost labor environments and so forth. So there's a lot to follow up and there's a lot to measure. My personal career is about 25 years in management consulting. I'm sure I've talked to hundreds, probably thousands of executives and supported and been in strategy engagements, at least in 100 plus organizations. In the last 3-4 years, we are focusing on this digital maturity measurements. And these are the 3 most frequent questions we have received. Where are we on our digital journey? Many companies, 90% of the companies, 9 out of 10, don't know where they are. The journey even is not defined. Then remember Alice in Wonderland asking the cat which way to go. And the cat replied back, where do you want to get? And it does not make any difference which road you take if you don't have a destination, if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a vision. And do you really progress? Is all that investment, all that effort really making you a more digital organization? Do you understand what digital is good for you? Does it? Not everybody needs to have the best experience. Not everybody must have the best prices. Is your digital journey really aligned with your corporate strategy, with your business objectives, with your priorities? And then, do you really progress on your journey? All that investments, all that teams, all that outsourced projects, do they really contribute for you to progress on a certain journey. These are measurable. And this is why we're talking about this in this particular way. Again, the CEO, CFO usually, and also the CEOs ask us, do we spend our budget on the right stuff? Because you want to have some returns. Some are short-term returns, some are medium-term, some are long-term. Investing in data usually is a long-term benefit. If you don't have that data, the opportunity cost is really high. And not having that historical data disables you, disqualifies you from doing historical analysis. And that data you can't buy for money. So the opportunity cost and the cost of lagging that data is even not calculatable. So not every single investment you can justify with return on investment calculations. Automating your warehouse is an expensive investment. But if you don't do it, you can't optimize your warehouse because you're not able to collect enough data how to optimize it. So data basically and digital provides you all the data. That data turns into information, into insights, into valuable insights. And that insight turns into knowledge. And if you even these days able to invest and build the capabilities of machine learning and artificial intelligence, you might even be able to have an automated way of improving the performance of your systems in the background, and the machine learns over time and becomes even smarter than your best planner, than your best pricing optimizer, than your best customer agent, customer service agent, and so forth. And this future, as you already see by the big tech giants, is inevitable as well. So you have to really optimize your portfolio, your journey, your transformation, overall priorities, and all the spending going into this. We think we have come up with a very clever and very pragmatic solution to help you measure all this. And we have a few statements, I think. In total, I think it's 6 big statements and 6 big benefits you get from measuring your digital transformation, your digital maturity. Digital transformation is a journey, but this is not comparable to an ERP project or to a CRM project. This has no, first of all, it's a moving target. Second of all, we don't know exactly where the next years will lead us to. Nobody was able to predict COVID and was prepared for something like COVID. The next pandemic will come, the next financial crisis will come, and the climate crisis is already here and is unpredictable how it will impact us. My colleague Nick will talk more about the world in flux and will show you what all the different aspects will be. So if you like or not, you're on a journey. If you have it defined as a roadmap or a strategy, you're walking on this journey in a conscious way. If you don't have those, you're in a reactive way. But everybody is on this journey as an individual, as an organization, as a city, as a nation, as human beings. And it's better, if you're on a journey, you better have a map with you or a navigation system. So assuring where you are and where you're going to is one of the most important benefits of digital maturity measurements. But this gives you an overall 360-degree view of your current location compared to your peers, benchmarked against your peers in your industry, and to understand on a scale from 1 to 5. Again, my colleagues will talk more about technical details, and towards the end of my presentation, I try to show you how it looks like in real life. But this is so important, and compare it to a health check. If you even feel super healthy, you would rather be sure that nothing building up in the back, and you make sure that all your blood measures and all your other body measures are aligned with your perceived health situation. So this is the journey part, and we are assuring by measuring your digital maturity, we are assuring where you are, that you're progressing, and being able to compare you against your industry peers. The second important argument is that digital transformation is a team sport. Digital transformation is far too important to leave it only to the IT guys. It's not just the marketing agenda. It's not just the supply chain agenda. It's not something which only one executive and his hero team is able to achieve. This is an overall corporate transformation. It's a business transformation. It has to be led from the top and has to be supported by the whole executive team, borrowing from John Cotter's methodology. We call it the guiding coalition. And they have to have a sense of urgency, and you better get them to agree on some common goals and a shared vision. And during our sessions, we experienced this hundreds of times, that many executives in the same organization don't know actually what's going on in other parts of the organization, and not often getting together and talking about what's their priorities. Of course, they're the management and the strategy offsites. We try to get together. Again, everybody has their own agenda, and digital, everybody has digital on their agenda, but talking in a structured way about the same thing is really aligning your executive team, your leadership team, the subject matter experts, and all the other participants relevant to succeed with your digital transformation. That's the reason why we still have our expert digital transformation and digital maturity consultants in these engagements. They do the moderation and the facilitation of the workshops, and they help you to get agreements, consensus, where you are, where you would like to be, and what needs to be done to get there. Digital transformation is inevitable. You're already late. And all of us are admiring those big tech giant companies, the Googles, the Teslas, the Spotifys, the Netflix of the world. And there are examples in almost any industry. And they're growing not 10%, not 20%. Usually these kind of companies growing exponentially. The day they overtake you, the day before they overtake you, they are just half the size of you. Exponential growth is not comparable to linear. It starts very small, but it becomes very big very soon. And this is what's happening in the digital realm. Focusing on the most important, setting the right priorities is something what we can help you with very much. And this makes the difference between the leaders and the legates. We have a lot of research on that. In this case, less is truly more. The less priorities you have, the less areas to focus you have. And sometimes it's even only one focus. Sometimes, and most of the times, it's probably providing the best possible customer experience. And that makes all the difference, because providing the best possible customer experience requires that integrated supply chain anyway. But by focusing your efforts on everything at the same time, you're diluting the level of energy. The best possible analogy I could give for focusing is the laser light. By focusing light on one single point, you're even able to cut steel. And that's very powerful. Digital transformation requires a shared vision, as I just stated, and borrowing from John Cotter's methodology. During these sessions we are running with your management, with your executive teams, we help them to get mutual agreements on the priorities. Providing maturity statements from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and given that the overall database average at the moment is only 2.8, there is decades for room of improvement. And having a vision for 2025 or 2030, where would you like to be? And what does that digital future, that digital vision look like for your company, for your organization, is a very, very tailor-made thing. And you have to own it, and you have to have agreements around it. That's the reason why you call it shared vision. Probably has only a few statements in there, because it's very difficult to agree on everything. But those common and mutual agreed statements within the vision will guide the way and will help you to direct everybody into a similar, not probably the same, but at least in a similar direction. And this will help you not dilute the energy and have investments in wrong directions. Digital transformation also requires continuous upskilling. Another important element of measuring your digital transformation, your digital maturity, is making question what you're doing, is making you get together to understand what you have done in the last few years, what you're planning to do in the upcoming years, and if that makes sense, how it fits all together, and where the journey goes, learning from other organizations, learning from peers, learning from best practices. The art of possible, so to speak, is very powerful. And during those sessions we are conducting to measure your digital maturity, you will see what the level of 3, the level 4, the level 5 requires, and you will understand that this is not a short-term goal. This is not achievable in the next few years. Our research shows that the average improvements per year is just 0.15 maturity points, 1.5 behind the points, the decimal points. So from getting from 2 to 3 is a 5 to 10 year journey. It's not something you jump from 2 to 3 in 1 or 2 years. Going from 3 to 4 is even harder. This is a logarithmic scale. Everybody has done optimization, will understand what I'm talking about. The better you get, the more difficult it will be to get even better. It's the same in sports. It's the same in almost any skills. The better your analytics will get, the even harder and the even more computing power and data, amounts of data you will need to have even better algorithms and even better forecast resolutions. So all about granularity and high fidelity, basically, to achieve that precision, that real-time precision you will need to succeed in the digital world. And last but not least, and probably the most valuable benefit of measuring your digital maturity and putting it in your annual reports is the value it will contribute to your overall company valuation. We have CEOs talking about their digital maturity out loud publicly, putting it in their annual reports and seeing how it is contributing to their overall value. Since the Teslas and the Netflix and the Amazons of the world are the leading, most valuable companies, it is obvious that digital supremacy, digital capabilities are definitely contributing to your market valuation. So these are the 6 values measuring your digital maturity is providing to any organization, any size, any industry, any geography, centrally managed, federated, decentralized. And the way we're doing it is by providing you with one single score on a scale from 1 to 5, with all the details attached to it, which we call the Digital Maturity Index. So you know where you are. You're setting the targets where you would like to go. And we benchmark you against a peer group, the most relevant peer group, your size, your industry, your geography. You understand how you compare against the average, and also you understand how you compare against the best in class, if you're best in class. And by setting the targets, we also provide you recommendations to understand what you would like, what you have to do to achieve those goals, which we call the recommendations, the initiatives. We prioritize them together with you. We help you to draw a roadmap out of this with the highest priority initiatives first, of course. So we've done, in the last 3 years, we've done 110 digital maturity assessments in 15 countries and in 10 industries, and captured more than 105,000 data points. So we have quite an extensive database, and I will talk about it in a few minutes again. You've come across probably different other methodologies. We are following 70 plus different methodologies. And we believe that we are truly unique because we are unbiased. For many of the other methodologies and their providers, this is usually a door opener, a business development vehicle. For us, it's our core business, it's our core capability, it's what we are passionate about and what we think truly delivers value to your transformation, is helping you to succeed and accelerate your transformation. We are fully unbiased. We don't have any downstream commercial agenda. We're not selling any other solution or services. And we're totally focused on digital maturity assessment only. As I said a few minutes ago, we have digital maturity expert consultants helping you to self-assess you. So we're not doing an audit, we're not assessing you. We moderate sessions with our methodology that you can self-assess yourselves, get agreements, find consensus, and understand where you are. It's a self-discovery process, and help you to set targets and prioritize them. Our consultants still then will stay with you to help you execute those from a priority setting perspective, from an overall portfolio management perspective. So we'll become your continuous companion without any downstream commercial services in terms of implementation, integration, or any other solutions. It's all about making you improve yourself over time and stick to your regime, stick to your journey, stick to your transformation priorities and objectives. Basically, like a coach, like a life coach. These are very few of those 80+ companies we have measured over the last 3 years. So customer retention is 90% plus. We already have dozens of companies where we've done the second measurement. We have a series of companies where we have done the third measurement. The first brave customers in our first year now being measured for the third time. So we have some time series data. We have some historical data now accumulating, and we're looking what we can draw out of that data and help our customers even further to even better manage their digital transformation journeys. These are just a few countries we're already serving and having engagements going on. So we can provide you, and this happened during COVID. So we were sitting in our remote offices and providing digital maturity assessment services to our clients around the globe. And so if you're a global organization and would like to understand how you're operating in different countries, this is something we are very specialized in. Now, Digitopia is also very innovative. And there's a reason for that, because we believe the way consulting is delivered needs to change. So if we're talking about digital transformation, we have to digitally transform ourselves as well. So we building not only the methodology, but an underlying software platform, and we develop an ecosystem of expertise in different industries, in different geographies, and different parts and aspects of digital transformation, and provide you with a rich set of features. So digital maturity index is not just a service you buy and you get a report and then you execute upon, but is a center of a platform which you can use to help you navigate your digital transformation journey. So I would like to show you the software and stop for a moment this presentation and switch over to a screen, which in the workshop setup looks like this picture. So what you will see in a minute is the live platform, and I hope Murphy will not interfere, and I'll switch over to my internet browser and have the maturity index platform live connected. I'm logged in and just switch in our projects. So this is what the customer sees. And when we do an engagement with these 6 dimensions, which you will hear in a few minutes from my colleagues, we dive into this session and a survey screen pops up, and we have 10, 15, 20 minutes of lively discussions. Imagine your team, your management team sitting in front of this screen in a physical meeting room or in a virtual Zoom conference like this one. And we're having lively discussions. Are we a 2? Are we a 3? Are we somewhere in between? And we help you to understand where you truly are. So our experts moderating these lively discussions. And you can imagine that there's even arguments happening during these discussions. People don't know what's happening in other parts of the organization. So there's an educative aspect to it. Then you already understand where this road goes. So you see the roadmap in front of you for those who are knowledgeable about these certain topics, what we call the topics. And just let me switch on the architecture part in technology. You see, there is no defined architecture, and for smaller enterprises, this is usually the case. Or the enterprise architecture, not just the technology architecture, is fully aligned with strategic imperatives, supporting digital initiatives, and has become a tool for business success. I've been into enterprise organizations, enterprise architecture groups in large organizations, and I've never seen any organization beyond 3.5 or 4. So there's still a long way to go in each of these topics. And once we have collected this data and we go question by question, take the time, 10, 15, 20 minutes for each of these discussions, and you get a 360-degree view of your organizations in these 6 dimensions. Sometimes when we talk to partners or to customers, we get the question is, don't think this is a business maturity index? Yes, actually it is looking at your business, because every business will become a digital business, and digital does not mean you have to digitalize everything. This laptop, actually, the water I'm drinking or the jacket I'm wearing will not digitalize, but the way we distribute it, the way we produce it will digitalize more, and probably you will put some chips in it, and it will provide some integrated experiences, and that's the part which is digitalizing. Once we have run these 6 sessions, you have the chance to look at your dashboard, and you see your overall maturity score. You see the 6 dimensions. You can dive into the details of each dimension, drill down into the results. You see the benchmark comparison against the average and against the best in class. If we do it multiple times, you can look back at your past states. You set your targets during these sessions as well. And that dark blue gap basically is the part where you need to do the initiatives. And there we come up with these recommendations, and we prioritize them by urgency and importance. And we draw out the roadmap together with your team, and you can integrate it with your project management tools and make this platform, basically, this digital maturity platform, your tool to manage your digital transformation. So we truly change the way consulting is delivered and make it more digital. So the maturity index platform has all these roadmaps built in already. It's a cloud-based software platform with a lot of machine learning capabilities. All the data we are accumulating are analyzed by a dedicated analytics team. We have a rich service partner ecosystem, which is growing by the day. And the product roadmap promises a rich and evolving set of features for you to benefit in your digital transformation. So the database already, as I showed you, has these 6 dimensions for the digital maturity index only, 120 topics customized for each industry we are working in, 600 statements for each of the maturity levels give you these roadmaps, more than 1,000 recommendations already in the recommendation database. And we've worked in the last few years, a few thousand person hours on the actual assessment of these 110 different organizations. Great CEOs know their score. They're following how much they're growing, how profitable they are, how efficient and seamless the operations are, how happy their customers are, and actually these days also how green they are, how sustainable they are. And a few already visionary CEOs decided to work with us, and one of our customers will tell they in a few minutes they're using digital maturity index to manage their digital transformation and report on it to show that they are a successful digital company. Successful chief digital officers or head of digital transformations help their CEOs achieve their business goals through new business models. They help to grow with providing true business value with their initiatives. They help them become more profitable. To become more operationally excellent, they manage the most efficient project portfolio. Customer experience is delivering happier customers. Digital is helping you to reduce energy consumption, water consumption, reduce waste in your processes. It's helping. Even circular economy kind of aspects are enabled and supported and managed and measured through digital capabilities. And the CDO uses our digital maturity index and the details of that platform to manage their digital transformation on a daily basis. You out there in the audience, you must become the digital hero of your organization. This is inevitable. You're already on a journey, either defined or reactively. And if you can tell in a quantitative way where you are and where you're going and how fast you're progressing or not, you can make better decisions, and this will help you to succeed and to accelerate your digital transformation. We are passionate about this. We try to bring light to digital transformation darkness. All those companies don't know their score. We are here to help you. So what is yours? And may the digital forces be with you.